My name is Steve Bracci. I'm the attorney for Alfie Oakes and Oakes Farms. This morning we filed a federal court lawsuit alleging various violations and counts against the Lee County School District, its superintendent, the school board members, and the procurement director, alleging that they violated Mr. Oakes' civil and United States and state constitutional rights by terminating his contract with the Lee County School District for the supply of fresh produce. We allege that they did so in retaliation of Mr. Oakes' First Amendment rights to free speech based on public viewpoints that he expressed on matters of public debate, and therefore we've alleged, in addition to the federal and state constitutional counts, we've also alleged breach of contract and also violations of the Sunshine Law.
Well, one thing I'd like to say is I've never been a litigious person, but this is clearly a time where we feel like our company, hundreds of men and women that work for our company could potentially lose their jobs out of this contract being canceled over something that we know is not an American value. We've never canceled. I've never heard of contracts being canceled because of opinions of individuals. We're happy to be here with Byron Donalds and my attorney Steve Bracci here. We filed this $50 million lawsuit against the Lee County school system and also individually the school board members and the superintendent. And this morning with FDLE up in Tallahassee, we filed criminal charges against them for violation of the Sunshine Law. So we're happy to take this stance right now and hope that there'll be some justice.
I'm here today in support of Alfie Oakes and in his case against the Lee County School Board. What happened here is simple. Mr. Oakes was using his First Amendment rights to speak his mind on current events. What was done to him, how he was harmed, is that because of public opinion, the Lee County School Board tried to use the cancel culture to get rid of his contract illegally. Listen, this is America. People have a freedom to speak and share their opinions, whether they're political or personal. But what we should never tolerate are governments or anybody canceling contracts in an illegal way simply because they don't agree or they're getting too much pressure from the public. And so I think what Lee County did was wrong. They should have actually given Mr. Oakes an opportunity to address the concerns with the school board in an open meeting as under Florida law. And since that did not happen, I'm here to stand with him in his First Amendment rights, not only to continue his business, but also to protect his rights to speak, but really to protect everybody's right to speak and to not get their businesses harmed and their contracts canceled simply because their political views or their personal views. People are trying to take Alfie's comments and then try to take those comments to elevate who they think he is as an individual. They don't know the work that this man has done in our community. They don't know the many lives who represent all aspects of American culture that he has employed and kept employed during the coronavirus. They don't know the work he's done in our communities for many, many years. So to try to take one comment and then have that be the way that you feel about Alfie Oakes is also wrong. I think it's incumbent upon all of us to make sure we do our due diligence about people when they make their comments and try to take a step back and really understand that person before they try to go about illegally canceling their contracts.
Some people though would argue that the school district would have a right then to cancel that contract.
I think the premise of your question is wrong. What the school district did is they worked behind closed doors to illegally cancel his contract. They did not give him an arena to address the grievances that his counterparty in that contract had. If the school district wanted to go through that, there was a legal process upon which they can address those issues with Mr. Oakes. They never did that. That's the purpose of this lawsuit. So I think it's important that we don't try to cloud it and say, well, maybe Lee County was in the right. They were wrong in their actions because what they did is they responded to public pressure. Frankly, not by the majority of people, but they responded to public pressure and they took action in a way that it was illegal and offended the contractual rights of Mr. Oakes.
This brought us where we are today, and I'm not a person that looks back. So I'm happy to bring this to the surface right now, because I think I'm not the only one that's been targeted like this. There's a lot of cancel culture going around the country right now. I think Donald Trump did some of the greatest things for Black lives that we've ever seen. Record low Black unemployment, giving people an opportunity. I grew up poor. I was able to live the American dream, to have that opportunity, and I think that's what every Black life, every white life, every color of any life that exists in this country. People come from all around the globe to this country because of those opportunities. So those are the opportunities that we look for all lives.
The Sunshine Law is in the Florida Constitution and in Florida statute, and it essentially says that all actions of a government agency or any board of the state of Florida or any sub-board of the state of Florida, including school districts, is required to conduct all of their business and decision making at an open meeting that's noticed to the public. If they don't do it at an open meeting open to the public, it actually, under the Sunshine Law, whatever action took place is negated and has no force or effect. Furthermore, that could mean not only even when they do have a vote in the Sunshine Law, if they were conducting discussions, are part of the discussions in private before the meeting, that actually, it's so broad that even those discussions would negate a subsequent vote by the school board if in fact they didn't have sufficient discussions at the board.
And that's because they are government entities, and obviously taxpayers' money is used for them to do what they're doing.
That's exactly right. I mean, essentially, it's basically based on government transparency, which everyone universally understands and would expect. I do actually believe that there is a good chance that Alfie Oakes wins this lawsuit. Yes, I think that based on the law and the facts that we already have, plus whatever facts we're going to get on top of that in the discovery process, I absolutely do think that. And unfortunately, the school board, school district, these officials decided to turn the Lee County School District, which is constitutionally charged with the responsibility of operating the free public schools, they've essentially turned that into a political activist organization. And at whose expense? The Lee County taxpayers who are going to be footing the bill for this lawsuit.
When you say they, is it just one person at the school district or the whole board?
Well, based on if they've based on what we're alleging, which is that they've had discussions outside, they've all sort of gone beyond their authority. They have an authority to meet as a board and make decisions. To the extent that they're orchestrating outside the sunshine, they lose their cover of their hat, particularly under the Civil Rights Act, of being a board member, and they subject themselves to individual liability.